Hello, it's Rosanna, editor of South East London blog, and today I am talking to Moira Tate, who is the festival director of Brockley Max, a creative festival that takes place in South East London. Welcome, Moira.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for inviting me to your lovely home today to chat. So, what is Brockley Max?
Brockley Max is a community arts festival based in South East London, so particularly in Lewisham and Honor Oak, Ladywell, Crofton Park and Brockley. And it's been going for 21 years, and this year I think we've got about 75 events.
21 years. So did you start Brockley Max?
I did, for my sins. It was at a local community AGM, an action group, and the community was saying that they were really proud. They knew that we had so many artists and musicians in the area, but there was nowhere to get to see them. Yeah. So I came up with the idea of having an arts festival without really thinking it through, of course, because there was no venues, you know. And it was only a year later, in 2001, when we actually ran it, that was when the first two cafes that weren't greasy spoons, that had fixed tables, you know, that you can't really put events on in there. And those two cafes opened up, and I think we had about 12 events that first year.
So you've got over 60 events happening this period. So when does it run from, the festival?
It starts on Friday, May the 27th, and then goes through to June the 4th.
Right. So what can people expect when they come to Brockley Max?
Oh, as I said, there's over 75 events, I think, this year. We've got art exhibitions on throughout the week. Right. We have an art and music trail that people can spend the day following musicians playing in their front garden. Yes. That's on the Saturday the 28th. We've got a huge opening night down by Brockley Station, which is 6 hours of live music on the 27th. Yeah. There's comedy, there's theatre, there's bands, there's workshops, loads of stuff. Wow. I mean, whatever really anybody wants to put on, and that's always been the sort of fundamental ethos of Brockley Max, that it is a community festival put on by the community. So it's really, as long as it's creative, and there's one or two exceptions, which is anything to do with history, because I'm an archaeologist by background. So being the director, I can actually say yes to what I like.
Yes, I suppose so. Yes.
So we do have a couple of history walks and talks this year. So anything really, as long as it's creative, people can put it on.
So how can people get involved?
Well, first of all, you can sign up to our mailing list. Yeah. Then you'll be kept up to date all year about next year's festival, and that address is on our website under Contact Us. We do a lot of social media, calling out for volunteers. So far, Emma, our volunteer coordinator, has got about 40 volunteers, but there's always space for more. Even if you want to do just 1 hour of handing out programmes at the station, or putting posters up in your local area. It's one of those jobs that, you know, it's pain to do if you're doing it all day, but if you're just doing it for an hour, that's a huge help to us. And you can do event stewarding at the opening night at Art in the Park, or any of the other events, lots of raffle tickets. There's quite a competition amongst our volunteers as to who sells the most raffle tickets, which is great, and that's a big source of income for us. So there's lots. We've even got a radio station. We have it every year down at broadcasting live on the 29th, 30th and 31st of May, live from the Fox and Firkin Garden. Right. So you can tune in online at One Harmony Radio, or actually pop down and watch it taking place, or come down and say, I want to be interviewed, or can I play a tune, or I want to read this poem, or and this year I'm really pleased that we're giving the information to a local organisation called Lewisham Talking Newspaper for people who have sight difficulties, that they can tune in live and hear stuff that's local really for them. So that's a nice thing that I want to do this year.
Yeah. So over 21 years, I mean, that's fantastic. You must have met so many people, had some great, you know, events and times. And what would you say would be one of your biggest highlights over that period?
It was funny when you were just saying that, because we're having our 21st birthday party this year, which is going to be down at the Fox on Sunday the 29th, which is lots of old bands. I was looking through old festival programmes on my computer, obviously to contact. And do you know what was lovely? So many of those bands that had played, 15, 18 years ago are still living in the community and are still working as musicians.
Yes.
And that's lovely.
Yeah.
So we've got some great bands coming back for that. It's difficult to say. There's been so many events that have taken place, but there's two things that I've always loved about Brockley Max, and that is art in unexpected places. So when people are walking on the street and they come across art, we've done a lot of murals in the area, or we've had sort of human interactive immersive stuff in the street, and I love that, and I love people seeing them engage with it. And the other thing I love is about connecting the community to local businesses, and our businesses. Those of you that live in this area will know just how unique really South East London is, and that we really support our local businesses and they support us. So we champion them throughout the year, but they also sponsor us and advertise with us, which helps pay for the festival. But they know that how important it is to engage with our community, because we really do like our businesses.
So I've just had a sneak preview of the programme for this year, which has got a fantastic piece of street art on the front of it. Tell me a bit more about that.
Well, that's a huge piece of street art of Bob Marley by the muralist called Dale Grimshaw, who's very well known.
Yeah.
And that came out of a Brockley Street Art Festival that we were one of the main, the lead organisation on. That was in 2014.
Yeah.
And the Bob Marley mural came out because it must be 35, 40 years. There's always been a Bob Marley mural opposite the Brockley Barge, what is the Brockley Barge pub now.
Right.
And it was getting very dilapidated about, 2007, I think. So we decided to renew it, and then there were 2 blank spaces either side, and we did a public vote. Who did they want to see next to Bob? And the votes came for Jimi Hendrix and Maya Angelou. Sadly, that was owned by an MOT garage, which got knocked down, and there's now flats there.
Right.
So when we came up with the idea of a street art festival, it was, we've got to have Bob Marley back. And it's an extraordinary piece of art. It really is. And it's featured on, you may have seen it on TV, it's featured a lot as a backdrop, but we're actually moving our stage there this year for the opening night, so
great.
hopefully Bob will be behind channeling the musicians as they perform.
Yeah. So where's the opening night going to be?
That's on Foxbury Road, which is literally sort of Foxbury Road and Coolgate Street.
Okay.
And Coolgate Street is the street that you get off Brockley Station.
And that starts at 4:30 on the Friday,
4:30 in
is
the
that right?
afternoon,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So we get all the, a lot of the kids coming out down, and people starting to come off the way. And what's lovely is because traditionally we've been round the corner as you come out the station, and you don't see anything, and you see people coming off work, and they're kind of it's Friday night, they're tired, and then you can see them going, what's that sound? And then they kind of stop, and they see all these people, and their face just lights up, and they say, oh God, what time's it on till? I'm coming back later, let me get some dinner, I'll come back. And that's lovely, so we have a good few hundred people down there on opening nights. It really is a bit of a party.
So what are you most looking forward to with this year's festival?
I'm looking forward to the opening night, because this is the first year in 3 years that we've had the opening night because of COVID.
Yeah.
Certainly we did have it last year, but it was streamed live from the Brockley studios. I'm looking forward to the music trail. I went on it last year, and it was just really chilled and relaxed, and you kind of went to somebody's front garden, and then they finished, and you thought, right, where do I go next? And last year we had the Molotovs playing on top of the Giddes hairdressing place, and they're playing again this year, and that stopped all the cars. It was fantastic, and they're a kind of really young, talented rock band, and I think they supported the Libertines.
Right. Okay.
They really are great. So that starts at 11 o'clock on Saturday with African drumming at Ladywell Cafe.
Oh, fantastic.
And it goes on till 9 o'clock at night with the Pinheads playing on the other side of Hilly Field. So you don't have to go far.
No.
It's all in an area, but it's just
a wonderful idea. It's a music trail, isn't it?
And it's very kind of relaxed, and so it doesn't take much organising, because it's down to the bands to put something on in their front garden. So
That's great.
It's great.
idea. It's a great
And there's
idea.
some art that you
Yeah.
can see along the way. There's some
Yeah.
murals and stuff we've pointed out and artwork that you
Oh.
can see along the way too.
Oh, well, look, it's been great talking to you today, and I wish you and the team tons of luck, and I'm looking forward to coming down to the opening night. So where can people find out a bit more about the festival?
You can go on the website, which is brockleymax.co.uk. We're on social media at Brockley Max, and we've got 10,000 programmes arriving next week.
Exciting.
So if you're coming off any of the stations, St John's, Ladywell, Brockley, Crofton Park on a Rogue, or down to Brockley Market, we hand out every Saturday,
Great.
and they'll all be in the shops and stuff. So yeah, just take a programme and enjoy it. And you can download the programme as well from the
Lovely.
website.
Thanks very much, Moira. It's been lovely talking to you today. Thank you.